Every Monday, I am here to bring you a quick organizing tip in under 15 minutes. All you have to do is click the subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening, and let's get started. Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's Tip of the Week episode. I am your host, Lori Palau. I'm so excited that you're here. Okay, you guys, so this November, if you're listening to this in real time, we're just kicking off November. And what I've decided to do is do a theme this month for our Monday episodes. And the theme is we're going to talk about decluttering trends. Do they actually work? So each Monday, I'm going to pick a different decluttering trend and we're going to discuss what it is. And then we're going to talk about some pros and cons about that. So some of them I'm familiar with. Some of them are actually, when I did a little research for this, I was learning about them myself. So we're going to be doing this together. But before we get into it, just a couple housekeeping things. Make sure, because again, we are entering into that last 8-week rush before the end of the year. Check out on our website, and we'll have the links below also. We've got a holiday gift tracker. We've got our entertaining checklist. So we have a bunch of freebies. If you've never been over to our website, simply the letter B, like boyorganized.com. We have a whole section of freebies, checklists, plus our favorite like products, and some of them like tools and things, which we'll get into in later episodes. Or some of them have a cost associated with them, but the majority of things that we have available for you are free resources. So definitely check that out. Also, if you do find that you need a little extra support going into the holidays, hop on my calendar for a discovery call. We've got several different types of offerings. So depending on your needs and your budget, we can either help you ourselves or hopefully point you in the direction to get you the support that you need. So again, those links will all be in the show notes, but you can visit everything also on our website. So anyway, all right. So back to today's episode. So decluttering trends, do they actually work? And today we're going to be talking about what is known as the 5-5-5 decluttering method. And what that is you spend 5 minutes a day in 5 different areas, and you remove 5 items that you no longer need. So again, let me just go over that. It's a total of 25 minutes. In each space, you pick 5 spaces. You spend 5 minutes in that space and you declutter 5 items, and then you move on to the next. Think of this as like speed dating for your clutter, right? You're doing 5 minutes, moving on to the next. The whole premise behind this is that this method is supposed to keep the decluttering manageable and prevent burnout by breaking it into quick, targeted sessions. All right. Now we're going to go into some pros and cons on this. I have 4 pros. First and foremost, this method should theoretically prevent some overwhelm. We know that overwhelm is one of the largest clutter pitfalls. This should prevent it because you are limiting the time and the scope of decluttering because you only have 5 minutes. It should make it more manageable and achievable to do on a busy day, right? Because 5 minutes, like a lot of times we're super busy and you're like, okay, I don't have it. I mean, technically it's 25 minutes if you're doing 5 minutes of space, but it's a very digestible amount of time. The second pro is that you are building your motivation through these small wins. So you're able to hopefully see progress and create momentum in multiple areas. So again, those small successes will hopefully make the task less painful. I don't want to say more enjoyable, but like less painful. Like, okay, I can do this for 5 minutes, right? Think about the thought of doing a workout for an hour or just saying, okay, I'm going to go like hardcore for 5 minutes, right? So think about those small little bite-sized sprints. The third pro is that it should theoretically fit into your busy schedule. With, again, a total of 25 minutes, we should be able to kind of fit it into routines. Like you could be like, I have 5 minutes before I have to go pick up the kids, or 5 minutes before they get off the bus, or, you know, the kids are watching a TV show before bedtime, let me do my 25 minutes, 5 minutes in each spot. So you can squeeze it into little pockets without that feeling of that major time investment hanging over your head. Again, start to incorporate this if you are going to try this in either your morning routine, an afternoon routine, or evening routine. Like, look at your day and see where would it make the most sense. The other thing that I do like about this method is that it promotes some consistency. So think of it as kind of that building of the muscle. You're fostering, building that habit, getting that routine in place, that if you're doing this every single day for a little bit, that's how habits are formed. And it will also, because this is more of a tidying up method than a pure, true decluttering method, it will hopefully theoretically prevent that clutter from building up. And you are encouraging that decision making as you go through different areas, right? So you're being intentional in multiple spaces as opposed to just kind of turning a blind eye and ignoring it. So those are the pros. Now, let's talk about some of the cons, or some of the maybe pitfalls, negatives associated with this 555 decluttering method. If you're really struggling with clutter, number one, it might not be enough time. It actually won't be enough time, right? But it is a good start. So if you're not really addressing that deeper issue, so if you have some chronic clutter issues, it might be a good icebreaker to, again, like I said, build that muscle, but you're not really going to have time to get to the root of it in 5 minutes in a space, right? Because you're going to be doing it. It's going to be task oriented, and then you're going to be moving on to the next. This is more of a kind of a maintenance-y type method. The second con is that it's fragmented. And for some people that won't work, especially kind of looping in my Enneagram ones in particular that like to see something from start to finish. This kind of fragmented focus of like, I'm going to start this and then move on to the next may be unnerving and also just kind of create some additional chaos. The third thing is this requires discipline, right? To like really say, I'm going to put this timer on for 5 minutes, whether, on your phone or whatever. And then when that timer goes off, move to the next, which again, if you're in a groove, I know for me, oftentimes when I get into the groove of something, I want to like continue and see it through. And that fragmented, like now I have to stop and restart, can be hard and sometimes feel very counterproductive. And again, on that same notion of not being able to complete something, another negative about this method is you are potentially leaving an area like half done or half organized. If you are in the middle of doing something and the timer goes off, are you just going to drop it and leave it, or are you going to tidy it up? So I think, again, in theory, it sounds really good because you're able to just do it in these little bite-sized digestible things. But I think you have to really flush out the practicality of how you're about to tackle this. But I think really the key people that this is for are the people that are looking for more of that like lightweight daily practice of, I want to start building a routine and a habit of making organizing and decluttering part of my life. And though not necessarily approaching it like we're doing a deep dive. So if that is where your mindset is, I think this is a great jumping off point. And like I say, with anything, really the best thing you can do is just try it for a week and see. So here's kind of like my call to action for you guys, or your homework is, if this is something that you think potentially might work, or you're sitting there and you've been struggling, or you've been procrastinating on certain things, maybe even it's leaving the dishes in the sink, or sorting the mail, or making your bed, or cleaning up a playroom, or whatever that situation is, challenge yourself. Try this. Do this 555 method, because oftentimes there are certain little minute tasks that take less time than we think, right? Unloading or loading the dishwasher, making the bed, all of that kind of those little things, sweeping the family room before you go to bed, or whatever that looks like. making the bed before you leave the house. Those things may take less than 5 minutes. And so if you are challenging yourself and actually putting that data in there, like I'm going to time it and see how long it goes, you might be able to find that you can start to develop some really good routines. And I know it's called a decluttering method, but even to kind of keep that clutter at bay, and anything that causes stress and anxiety to me, I deem as clutter worthy. So let me know what you think. Try it out. Please give us feedback. So whether that is shooting us a DM on Instagram if you're there, or respond like email, leave us a comment in, you know, on Apple, whatever it is. We want to hear, because I'd love to know if this has been an effective method. And like I said, also don't forget, check out our website, which has tons of those declutter and organizing free resources. And if you need some additional help, hop on my calendar for a discovery call and we can get you set up. So I'll be back next Monday with another decluttering tip. But don't forget, we're here twice a week, Mondays for our short tip of the week episodes and Thursdays for our longer episodes. So until then, I'm Lori Palau. Peace out.